Imagine being the one that goes and says, you know what? GTA 6 should cost $100. So this is coming to us from GameRanks. Community pushes back on selling Grand Theft Auto 6 at $100. We're at the cusp of irresistible change in the industry. Grand Theft Auto's community has pushed back on the idea that Rockstar Games should price Grand Theft Auto at $100. I'll push back on this idea that anybody should sell games at a higher price. And we're going to get into it today. Like, I'm so done with this argument. I'm actually like so incredibly done with this because there are so many bad faith actors talking about this. Like, it should cost $100. It makes sense. It's so much more expensive. We're going to break this down today. Where did this $100 malarkey start anyway? Industry analysts have been warning about game companies planning to raise the default price of video games above $60 since at least last year. No, they've been talking about it for far longer than last year. Shit, I remember having this conversation like friggin' 5 to 6 years ago or something like that. However, there's a specific inciting incident that led people to ask if Grand Theft Auto 6 would be sold at $100. And that incident is Matthew Ball's State of the Video Game Industry report from the start of this year. Ball explained the problems and opportunities circling the industry. He pointed out that as games continue to sell at $60 in the last 3 decades, the costs of making them kept increasing. Bullshit! They have not. It is not my problem that your incompetence is ballooning your budgets. So in a lot of ways, yes, the costs have increased. But why? Because you're incompetent. And the proof is in the pudding, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of studios that are being able to produce video games better than a lot of these AAA games at a fraction of the cost. Why? Because they're not incompetent. The easiest example to cite right now is Expedition 33. Another easy example to bring up is Silksong, even though naturally that one is a little bit smaller in budget, not really going for the big AAA graphics, etc., etc. But I would also argue that AAA graphics are a part of the fucking problem. You choose to do these things. You chose that we needed to move to 4K. You made this choice. We didn't make this choice. Like, what? Why am I being blamed over the fact that you want your pretty 4K textures and all of your mocap animations when I was perfectly happy with Dark Souls 1? I was perfectly happy with the way Dark Souls 1 looked and animated. It still looks good to me today. Should the industry evolve? Absolutely. Should we get better animations? Absolutely. Should we be irresponsible with our budgets? Absolutely fucking not. I want you guys to picture the following. Okay? I want you guys to picture the following. Tomorrow I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a Ferrari. I just feel like I want a Ferrari. I feel like we will all benefit from me having a Ferrari. Then I'm going to come into my stream and I'm going to tell you guys, the cost of streaming has gone up. It's harder to stream now. I had to spend all this money. It's way harder to stream nowadays, guys. I'm sorry. And then some of you might argue, well, wait a minute. Why the fuck did you buy a Ferrari? It's like, well, I need it for content because now I can like take pictures of it and post it online. It's like, well, how does that benefit any of us? Well, it doesn't, but it's more expensive. And a lot of video games have this problem. Now, I'm not saying that this is the case for all of them. I agree that for some of them, sure. There might be the odd case here or there where the cost is increased and it's not because of incompetence. But I would say up to 80% probably incompetence. You chose to go after the 4K textures, the bells and whistles of the Unreal Engine and all of this bullshit. And now you're asking everybody else to foot the bill? I'm sorry. Not going to take it. Baldur's Gate 3. That was $50 when it came out. Expedition 33. That's $50 now, I think. Night Rain. That's $40. Elden Ring. That's $60. It's like, no. No. You're not going to tell me that in the last 3 decades, the cost of making games has kept increasing as if this is just like something that we need to accept. By the way, the people who make this argument never, ever talk about the fact that the tools that you use to make video games have also evolved. Every single piece of software in the world has greatly evolved to become better and more efficient over the last 3 decades. Photoshop, for as much as I fucking hate Adobe, has evolved and likely gotten better. We've gotten new software for editing like DaVinci, which is actually phenomenal. Hell, we've got new software that I replaced Photoshop with, which is Affinity. I actually have it open right now. It's what I use to do my thumbnails. Look at that gorgeous face. Look at that. How are you going to not hit the like button with that smile? Like, what's wrong with you? How are you not going to subscribe to this channel with a smile like that? Come on. Now, I only have the best of thumbnails. But anyways, that's besides the point. What I'm saying is, like, every software has gotten better to some extent. Not everything, like Windows continues to be an absolute piece of dog shit because Microsoft is a trash fire company and it is what it is. But a lot of the software that these people use to create video games has also become better, more streamlined, and it can actually be used more efficiently. But yet magically these costs keep increasing. It has nothing to do with the fact that you went from like a 50-person team that was doing fine programming these video games and now you're at 5,000. How is your irresponsible hiring of people my problem? It'd be like me, guys, I hired a production team. Streaming is so much more expensive now, guys. Because I'd be irresponsible at my size to hire a production team, wouldn't I? Your inability to budget is not my problem. It isn't. I'm sorry. Feels bad. Not my problem. So no, I don't agree. In fact, adjusted for inflation. Here we go. Adjusted for inflation. Funnily enough, whenever people talk about inflation, which by the way, I'm not an economist. I don't know a damn thing about inflation. Okay. I'm a guy that plays video games. I should be the last person you want to talk to about inflation. But it is my understanding that with inflation, there should be an accompanied thing that comes with inflation, which is called rising salaries to account for that, which isn't happening. Yeah. So, inflation, you can stick your inflation up your ass for all I care. And the other thing that these things about the inflation are taking into account is the ballooning, the exponential growth of the gaming community, i.e. your market. So don't give me this shit about, oh, games are so much more expensive and inflation and other words I'm going to throw at your face. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I ain't buying. Grand Theft Auto 3 would actually cost fans $80 to $100. For this reason, Ball claimed that some game companies hoped that Grand Theft Auto 6 would raise the bar for game prices to $80 to $100. Let me tell you something. Y'all do whatever the hell you want to do. I ain't here to judge anybody. Life's too short. You want to buy Grand Theft Auto 6 at $100, you do you. Everything you do is going to have a reverberating effect on the industry. It's that simple. If Grand Theft Auto 6 features record profit sales at $100, that's the new norm, whether we want to accept it or not. It's literally that simple. That becomes the new norm. Later this year, consumer survey in Brazil found that most Brazilian gamers expected Grand Theft Auto 6 would sell for as much as $100. But then, 1 in 3 Brazilian gamers were willing to buy it for that price. Galera! Como é que você faz isso, hein? Traição, galera! Não acredito, não. Loucura. That's crazy. Finally, earlier this week, game developer Chris Stockman chimed in with his 2 cents. Stockman was design director on the original 2006 Saints Row and now heads his own game studio. Stockman said that he thought Grand Theft Auto 6 was the only game that would get away with selling for $100. He went so far as to say he hopes it would sell at that price. I want to make one thing very, very clear for these people. Okay? You're going to start pricing people out of this hobby. $100 games, brother, in this economy, you are crazy. You're going to price people out of the hobby. But you do you. I just hope that people do get priced out of the hobby so that these companies will learn. Because let me tell you, in no uncertain terms, okay, a lot of people are not going to like what I have to say, especially people that are in the industry. They're not going to like hearing this. Grand Theft Auto 6 will make more money if you sell it for $50 than if you sell it for $100. Grand Theft Auto 6 will make more profits at half the price than it will do at this imaginary, this redonkulous, this fucking rainbow-filled fantasy price that these people expect to be charging off of the game of $100. 100%. It will 100% make more money if you sell it for $50. But that's the part that nobody wants to argue for, because everybody's like, oh, no, it's not going to work. Oh, I can't say reasonable things. Oh. It will 100% make more money if you sell it for cheaper, because you will sell more copies, and you will sell way more copies than the difference in price would account for. And you save yourself all of this fucking bullshittery, all of this pricing drama by not doing that. I agree with you, Ruri, but what about the greed? Yeah, that's the part that nobody wants to talk about. It's crazy. A photophilic, AAA graphics are unnecessary for 90% of good games. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. How much was lost by AAA devs taking chances on crypto NFTs and not generative AI? And we're footing the bill! That's the other thing. I didn't even talk about like how much a lot of these AAA companies have spent on all these fucking bubbles that they wanted to of the NFTs and generative AI and all this bullshit. And now we're footing the bill. Fuck that. We're not here to pay for other people's incompetence. That's the way that I look at it. If I fuck up with my videos, I don't come into my stream and start telling people, hey guys, it's time to donate. It's time for you guys to pony up. Because the last video that I made didn't make any money, so it's time for you guys to pay for that. It's like, no, it doesn't fucking happen, bro. You got to be responsible with your budgeting. It's that simple. Either be responsible or don't be responsible, but don't expect other people to foot the bill for your incompetence. It's that simple. Nick Tech, I don't know who this person is, shared his sentiments of this on Twitter, and we believe Rockstar should take this in consideration too. Nick Tech said, just because Grand Theft Auto 6 deserves to be sold at $100 doesn't mean that it should. First of all, it doesn't deserve to be sold at $100. The game's not even fucking out yet. What the fuck are we talking about? It deserves to be sold at $100. It's not out. How are we saying that a game deserves to be sold at $100 when it's not even out? Nobody's even played this game. I mean, sure, maybe the team has played this game or whatever, but none of the people talking about this have even played this game. How the fuck does a video game deserve to be sold at $100 when it hasn't? It's not even out. We don't even know anything about it. Michael Gorala 84, thank you very much for becoming Girl Scene Incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. It is the most expensive game to develop of all times. Don't care. Self-inflicted. And it will pack a ton amount of content that will result in endless hours of fun. You mean it will pack a ton of content into GTA Online, which then will result in 100 and endless hours of monetized fun. Like if GTA 5 is anything to go by, GTA Online is going to be monetized out the ass with pay-to-win content like shark cards and all that other bullshit. Whatever. But what's most important is that everyone deserves to experience this game, and I think that pricing it at $100 will be too high of a price for some gamers. It'll be too high of a price for most gamers. Even though it would sell extremely well, I can't begin to imagine the catastrophic damage it will do to the gaming industry as game studios suddenly feel comfortable making their games start at $100. You know what? I'm slowly becoming an accelerationist. Let's do it. Tell you what. Sell that bitch for 200. Doesn't it deserve it? Let's adjust it for inflation. Let's future-proof it. Sell that bitch at 200. I dare you. I triple dare you. I quadruple dare you. Sell it at 200. Coward. Go on. Now let's fucking do it. Let's take this to the nth degree, baby. Let's fucking go. 200. Let's take this to its logical conclusion, but faster. Sell that bitch at 200. Come on. Didn't you just say it deserves to be 100? Make it 2. Premium game for premium gamers. Exactly. It's a premium game, just like Borderlands 4. And by the way, this is $200 for the standard edition. Collector's edition, $500. $500. Let's go. That's the way to do it. Now let's go. Let's just take this to where it needs to be. If people want to be unreasonable, the only thing that is going to happen is you need to be unreasonable back. This is ridiculous. This deserves to be sold at $100. Goddamn game's not even out yet. You take all of these complaints about your inflation and your rising costs and all of this stuff. You take all that stuff and you can fold it neatly and then shove it straight up your ass for all I care. Shit should be sold at $60, and I don't care what anybody else says about it. It's literally just that simple. Call me unreasonable if you want to, but the reality is, and if you've been paying attention to this industry, the reality is a lot of these AAA studios have been getting away with murder when it comes to their budget planning. It is insane. You people are insane. And you need to just, you need to start being responsible with your budget. It really is just that simple. Budget accordingly. Just budget accordingly. Like, what the fuck? Don't you have financial departments? Budget. It's crazy. People are being irresponsible and just like pouring ridiculous amounts of money into a game, and then they expect everybody else to foot the bill. It's like, no, be responsible. It's not everybody else's business. That's crazy.